ஆழ்வார் திருவடிகளே சரணம், எம்பெருமானார் திருவடிகளே சரணம், pAsuram திருவடிகளே சரணம், viLAnjOlaip பிள்ளை திருவடிகளே சரணம், ஜீயர் திருவடிகளே சரணம், ஜீயர் திருவடிகளே சரணம், பிள்ளைலோகம் ஜீயர் திருவடிகளே சரணம், ஸ்ரீசைலேஷ தயாபாத்திரம் தீபக்தியாதி குணார்ணவம், யதீந்திர பிரவணம் வந்தே ரம்ம ஜாமாத்தரம் முனிம், ரம்ம ஜாமாத்ரி யோகீந்திர பாத ரேகாமயம் சதா ததாயத்தாத்ம சத்தாதிம் ராமானுஜ முனிம் பஜே, லக்ஷ்மீநாத சமாரம்பாம் நாத யாமுன மத்தியமாம் அஸ்மத் ஆச்சாரிய பரியந்தாம் வந்தே குரு பரம்பராம், யோனித்யமச்சுத பதாம்புஜ யுக்மருக்ம व्यामोहत सदितराणि तृणाय मेने अस्मद्गुरोर् भगवतोऽस्य दयैकसिन्धोः रामानुज मातापिता युतयस्तनयाय भूति सर्वं यदेव नियमेन मदन्वयानाम् आद्यस्य न कुलपतेर्कुलाभिरामं श्रीमत्तदग्रीवरं प्रणमामि मूर्ध्ना भूतं सरश्च महताह्वय भट्टनाथ श्रीभक्तिसार कुलशेखरे योगिवाहान् भक्ताङ्ग्रिरेण परकाल यतीन्द्रमिश्रान् श्रीमत्पराङ्कुशमुनिं प्रणतोऽस्मि नित्यं लोकाचार्याय गुरवे कृष्णपादस्य सूनवे संसार போகி சந்தஷ்ட ஜீவ ஜீவாத்தவே நமக. வாழி நலந்திகள் நாரண தாதனருள் வாழியவன் அமுத வாய்மொழிகள் வாழியவே. ஏறு திருவுடையான் எந்தை உலகாரியன் சொல் தேறு திருவுடையான் சீர். We have been enjoying saptha kAdhai for the last several sessions. The saptha kAdhai or saptha ghata is a beautiful Tamil prabandham which was composed by Narayana Dasa, that is viLAnjOlaip piLLai. He was from Kerala region and was born near Thiruvananthapuram. He became a dear disciple of lOkAchArya. He learnt all the essential principles from lOkAchArya and became an expert in SrIvachana bhUshaNam, which is known as SrIvachana bhUshana Divyashastram, in both theory and practice. He became an expert in the principles shown in SrIvachana bhUshana Divyashastram and also he put them into practice. The essence of SrIvachana bhUshaNam is to understand that Acharya is the ultimate goal and ultimate means to attain that goal. So this particular principle was well demonstrated by viLAnjOlaip piLLai in his life. He always meditated upon lOkAchArya. He always was thinking about the wonderful divine qualities of lOkAchArya, divine form of lOkAchArya, divine activities of lOkAchArya, and so on. So everything was around lOkAchArya. That was his whole focus. And such viLAnjOlaip piLLai has given this beautiful saptha kAdhai. In these 7 pasurams, he brings out the essence of SrIvachana bhUshana Divyashastram. Today is Aipasi Tulamasam Tiruvona Shravana Nakshatram. This is the auspicious appearance day, Tirunakshatram day of lOkAchArya. In Srirangam, we celebrated it in a very grand manner. On this auspicious occasion, we are fortunate enough to conclude saptha kAdhai, this beautiful prabandham, which is the essence of his most important work, SrIvachana bhUshana Divyashastram. Actually, we should have concluded this saptha kAdhai on the coming Saturday, but on Saturday I will be traveling to Chennai for a program on Sunday. Because of that reason, I will not be able to conduct this concluding session on Saturday. Moreover, today being lOkAchArya's Tirunakshatram day, Adiyan thought that it will be more apt to conclude this wonderful prabandham on this day. So it just is lOkAchArya's mercy, we should say it that way, because it came so close to the occasion that we get to conclude this wonderful prabandham On this auspicious Aipasi Thiruvonam day, which is the divine appearance day of piLLai lOkAchArya. So now we have seen up to the fifth pAsuram. You've seen the first five pAsurams so far. In these five pAsurams, piLLai lOkAchArya has brought out the very important aspect of who is an Acharya. Categorically, he says the one who gives Arthapanchaka Jnanam, that person is Acharya. So viLAnjOlaip is categorically saying that. And then he explains in subsequent pAsurams what is Arthapanchakam and what about those who don't have love and affection and devotion towards the Acharya who gave that Arthapanchaka Jnanam, the knowledge about five essential principles. viLAnjOlaip says that such person is more cruel than poison itself, because poison only destroys the body, but the one who doesn't have love and affection towards Acharya, he is destroying himself. The Atma itself becomes destroyed. What does it mean to become destroyed? Can anyone destroy the Atma? It is not possible, because Krishna says Achedyoyam, Adahyoyam. He says that Atma cannot be cut, Atma cannot be burnt, Atma cannot be made wet, Atma cannot be dried. So nothing can be done for the Atma. So how can one destroy the Atma? It means, destroying the Atma means not having real understanding about who is the self, who is Bhagavan, what is the means to attain Bhagavan, what is the goal after attaining Bhagavan, and what are the hurdles which are facing us before we can attain Bhagavan. So without this knowledge, the Atma is as good as Achit, insentient or non-sentient. One who, the entity which doesn't have any knowledge, that is called as Achit. Even though Atma is Chit, that is knowledgeable, one who has knowledge. When Atma doesn't have that true knowledge, then he is said to be as good as Achit. That is what is destruction of Atma. So the person who is not having love and affection towards Acharya is more cruel than poison, because he destroys himself. Even the poison will only destroy the body, but such person destroys the Atma himself. And then subsequently it was also said that one doesn't have Acharya Bhakti, but one has great knowledge. Will that be sufficient? That was the question asked. For that also viLAnjOlaip explained that no matter how much knowledge one may have, if one doesn't have Acharya Bhakti, then he will suffer in this samsara forever. First he will be in this earthly planet, and then after death he will even reach hell, hellish regions, and suffer there more forever. So that was also explained. And subsequently, in the other next two pAsurams, the essence of Shastram, that is Arthapanchakam, that was explained in great detail. So in this manner, we have seen the first five pAsurams. In the fifth pAsuram specifically, we saw Yenpakkal Odinar Innar Enimiyalvum, Yenpakkal Nanmai Enimiyalvum, Manpakkal Seviparka Anpudayor, Sanma Nirupanamum, Avikku Nere Azhukku. In the fifth pAsuram specifically, the quality of the Acharya is further elaborated. The Acharya should not think that all of these are my disciples. Look, there is one person here. Look, you are one disciple for me. That Acharya should not have that thought. He should never think that these are all my Sishyas. Rather, one should think that they are all my classmates. We are all learning from my Acharya. The only difference here is my Acharya is speaking through me. He is using me as an instrument. So I am delivering his message. So that person should think that these are all my Acharya's Shishyas. So it's an interesting aspect. Actually, one has to understand it deeply, because in some places it is said that Acharya Abhimanam, that is Acharya's affection towards the Shishya, Acharya's consideration that this is my Shishya, I have to protect him. That is very important. On the other hand, it is said that Acharya should not treat those who learn from him, those who are subservient to him. The Shishya has to be subservient, there is no question about it. Shishya has to think that this Acharya is my everything, my father, my mother, my teacher, my wealth, everything should be considered as this Acharya, because the Shishya is getting all the knowledge from the Acharya. But the Acharya should think that these are not my Shishyas, but they are my Acharya's Shishyas. And I am the via medium through whom my Acharya is talking to the Shishyas. So it may look like a conflict. On one side, it is said that Acharya Abhimanam is Sutarakam. One will be uplifted by the Acharya's love and affection towards the Shishya, considering that person to be a Shishya. On the other hand, it is said that Acharya should not think that all of these are my Shishyas, they are my Acharya's Shishyas. So how does it work? What is the truth? For that, we have to understand that if the Acharya is sincere towards his Acharya, then his Shishyas will be uplifted by the grace of the Acharya's Acharya. So that Acharya's Shishyas, that concept is there anyway. So the Acharya has to think that they are all my Acharya's Shishyas. Because they are all my Acharya's Shishyas, I am having great love and affection towards them. So I have my care for them, my care towards them, because they are all my Acharya's Shishyas. So that affection will be there in the part of Acharya. So that will help uplift the Shishyas. So that is the truth there. So with this, we will move on to next pAsuram, sixth pAsuram. We have to enjoy the sixth pAsuram and seventh pAsuram today. And with that, we will conclude this beautiful prabandham, which is very, very potent. As I have said before, for any of these English upanyasams, we are just giving brief introduction to the topic. In 1 hour, we can only explain certain aspects. But those who are learning, they should spend a little bit more time, go to the translations of these commentaries which are available in English in our websites, and make use of the full resource. Go through the articles completely and understand the full details about these pasurams. So let us move on to the sixth pasuram. அழுக்கென்று இவை அறிந்தேன் அம்பொனரங்கா அழித்தருளாய் ஒழித்தருளாய் உள்ளில் வினையை பழிப்பிலா என் ஆரியர்க்காக எம்பெருமானார்க்காக உன் ஆரருட்காக உற்று. So here piLLai, his Shishya is viLAnjOlaip. viLAnjOlaip is now going to Bhagavan, Sri Ranganatha. After all these 5 pasurams explaining about Acharya and Acharya's greatness and Acharya's qualities, viLAnjOlaip finally is moving on to Bhagavan. Why is he going to Bhagavan now? Because our sampradaya principle is that we approach Acharya, and then through Acharya we have to approach Bhagavan. So that is the principle. So for that principle, in the first 5 pasurams, he spoke about Acharya, and now 6th pasuram, he is going to Bhagavan. He is asking Bhagavan to facilitate his upliftment, and he is saying, not because of he is saying, I am not asking you to uplift me because of my greatness, my knowledge, my devotion, my anushtanam, my conduct. I am not asking for that, but I am asking that based on the greatness of my Acharya, and then greatness of Bhagavad Ramanuja, who is the root for all of our Acharyas, and then for your mercy to survive. You have mercy, Unless you show your mercy upon me, how can people understand that you have mercy? So you have to execute it. So because of your mercy also, you have to help me, says viLAnjOlaip in this pasuram. Let us see the word by word meanings. Beautiful. Pon, desirable. Aranga, Pon Aranga, very beautiful, very desirable. Sri Ranganatha, who is eternally residing in Sri Rangam. Evai, all of these aspects which were previously explained. Alukendru arindhen. I understood. I have known very clearly that these are all causing disgrace to me. What are all causing disgrace? Not having love towards Acharya, considering the Shishyas to be my Shishyas, and then considering myself to be Acharya, and then Bhagavan's grace, Bhagavan's mercy. So, all of these are to be understood clearly. All of these have to be understood clearly, and in these aspects, if I have misunderstanding, as if I think that these are all my Shishyas, I am an Acharya, and these concepts, if I have wrong understanding, then that is causing disgrace. So I have known this clearly now. Now, for such person, for me, you have to show your mercy to drive out all the group of my sins, collection of my sins, along with their trace. When viLAnjOlaip asks this, Bhagavan asks, why are you asking me? On what basis are you asking me? For that he is saying, Padipila en Aryarkaga. My Acharya, lOkAchArya, who has no defects, none of these defects he has. For such lOkAchArya, who has mercifully imparted all this knowledge to me, I was ignorant, but he made me knowledgeable. Emberumanarkaga, for Emberumanar, who is the great Lord of lOkAchArya himself. Who does lOkAchArya consider as the best teacher, best Acharya? Bhagavad Ramanuja. So for such Bhagavad Ramanuja, and then finally, your Highness's overflowing mercy. Your greatness is beyond our imagination. Bhagavan is said to be supreme. So such Supreme Lord's overflowing mercy, for that, for that you have to mercifully accept me. Ullil, holding the mind, which is the gate for transmission of knowledge. Vinayai, group of sins, Oditarulai. So all the sins which are with me, you should mercifully drive out all of them, says viLAnjOlaip in this passage. That is the simple meaning. Let us see the commentary. அழுக்கென்று இவை அறிந்தேன். இவை அழுக்கென்று அறிந்தேன். First, viLAnjOlaip is saying அழுக்கென்று இவை அறிந்தேன். I have known that these are all bad habits, evil habits. I have known that. What are all those aspects, 4 aspects, which we have seen already? That is, not having love towards Acharya, considering those who learn from self to be disciples, considering self to be an Acharyan, and analyzing the birth of SrIvachanas. We saw, En Pakkal Odinar Innar Enumiyalvum, En Pakkal Nanmai Enumiyalvum. And then we saw Man Pakkal Anbudayarku, those who have the great devotion towards Bhagavan, who is the Supreme Lord. For them, if we consider their birth and considering them lowly, inferior, then that is a great sin. So all of these 4 aspects. I have understood that they are evil, they are bad for me. So அழுக்கென்று இவை அறிந்தேன். Ambonaranga. Now Ambonaranga means viLAnjOlaip is in Thiruvananthapuram. He should have said Anantashayana, but he says Ambonaranga. Why is that? Because Sri Ranganatha is the Ishta Deivam of piLLai lOkAchArya. So we have to consider who is important for our Acharya. piLLai lOkAchArya lived in Srirangam for more than 100 years. For him, Sri Ranganatha is everything. That is why viLAnjOlaip is calling out Sri Ranganatha instead of Anantashayana Bhagavan, who is right there in Thiruvananthapuram. Even though viLAnjOlaip was in Thiruvananthapuram, he was calling out for Sri Ranganatha. He says Ambonaranga means one who is shining like gold. Only after I got knowledge about you by the grace of piLLai lOkAchArya, you are shining now. Because you want everyone of your followers to be good. And when your followers become good, you become joyful, become shining. So only after me getting the knowledge, you are shining, says piLLai lOkAchArya, viLAnjOlaip. And because he is in, even though he is in Thiruvananthapuram, he is now visualizing Sri Ranganatha right close to him. ஒழித்து அருளாய் உள்ளில் வினையை. அம்பொனரங்கா ஒழித்து அருளாய். Please get rid of my sins. viLAnjOlaip is asking, what is the connection between your Highness's purifying nature and impurity of mind, who is surrendered to your Highness? This is not matching at all. I am impure, you are very purifying. Naturally, when we join, you should purify me. But why I have not been purified yet? You have to purify me quickly, says viLAnjOlaip. It is like Agni Sinchet. For example, if you say that fire is wetting the place, fire is making the place wet, can anyone believe it? Similarly, you are merciful, I need mercy. Why it is not manifesting in me? Please make it happen soon, says viLAnjOlaip. Also, there are pAsurams which are quoted. தம்மையே நாளும் வணங்கி தொழுவார்க்கு தம்மையே ஒக்க அருள் செய்வர். Bhagavan is of the nature that those who continuously worship him, and surrender unto him, for them Bhagavan will make them like him only, with all the knowledge. So that is Bhagavan's nature. But why have you not done for that me? செம்மையுடைய திருவரங்க தாம் பணித்த மெய்மை பெருவார்த்தை. Again in Nachiyar Tirumozhi it is said that Sri Ranganatha, he is the same one who spoke the Charma Shlokam, the truth. So here also Bhagavan helping his devotees is shown. But you have not helped me. So in this manner, in Bhagavad Gita he says, Sarvadharman Paritijya Mamekam Sharanam Vaja Aham Tva Sarva Papebhyo Mokshayishyami. So I will free you from all the sins. He said that to Arjuna. So in this manner, even in Mumukshupadi, it is said, Kayyum Budavagolum Piditha Sirivai Kairumana Saratya Veshattode. Bhagavan stood there with a stick in his hand, a rope in his hand to control the horses on the chariot. And then such form was manifested for us. So what a beautiful form that is. So in this manner, Bhagavan has said in many places that he will protect and he will uplift. But why it is not happening for me? That is the case here. Oditharulai, please eliminate all the sufferings, all the karma I have. Aranga Oditharulai. Just as a farmer will remain in the field, fertile field, to protect his crop, similarly, you have come to samsara to protect us. So you please take care of me, asks viLAnjOlaip. Arulai. Please, you have to show your mercy. Ullil vinayai, the dirt which is present in my heart, please eliminate that. You are said to be Ullatte Urayum Malai by Tondadipadialvar. Tondadipadialvar says in Tirumalai, Bhagavan is present in everyone's heart. So such Bhagavan can eliminate the dirt, our evil thoughts from within. Odithu Arulai Ullil Venavai. Kindly drive out all my sins, says viLAnjOlaip. Now, why are you forcefully saying, you eliminate my all the sins? viLAnjOlaip is asking. How can you say that? What commitment I have with you? Why are you asking like this? For that, viLAnjOlaip is saying, Pazhipila Ariyarkaga. Pazhipila Ariyarkaga. He says, my Acharya, lOkAchArya, who has no defects, for him, you uplift me. And then, Emperumanarkaga, Bhagavad Ramanuja has appeared to uplift everyone. So for him, for his sake, when he entered into Srirangam, you gave the Sharan Matam, the Matam in the North Tower entrance along that side. So that was given by Periya Perumal for Bhagavad Ramanuja. Such Bhagavad Ramanuja was very dear to Bhagavan. He also said, you are the Udayavar, Swami. You own Nitya Vibhuti, Leela Vibhuti, everything. You can do everything. You can uplift everyone. So Bhagavad Ramanuja was given that power. So here viLAnjOlaip is asking, for my Acharya, for the sake of my Acharya, you uplift me. And then he says, Un Ararutkaga, you have great mercy. That should not go waste. Please, you have to uplift me, says um, viLAnjOlaip. In this manner, in this pasuram, viLAnjOlaip is explaining many important aspects from SrIvachana bhUshaNam Divya Shastram, 374th Sutram, Petrukku Adi Kripai, Idavukku Adi Karmam. There it is very clearly said, if we get anything good, that is because of Bhagavan. But if we have anything bad, that is because of our own karma. And then there is also the statement, Kripai Perigapukal, Iruvar Swatantriyathayum, Tagaya Onnadabadi, Irugarayum, Adiya Perugum. When Kaveri breaks out into a flood, it will destroy both shores. Similarly, Bhagavan's Kripai, the mercy, if that starts flowing, nobody can stop it. Neither Bhagavan can stop it, nor Jivatma can stop it. So, the mercy is desired here. Bhagavan's mercy is desired here by viLAnjOlaip. That is 6th Pasuram. அழிக்கென்று இவையறிந்தேன் அம்புனரங்க ஒழித்தருளாய் உள்ளில் வினையை பழிப்பிலா என் ஆரியர்க்காக எம் பெருமானாருக்காக உன் ஆரருக்காக உற்று. That is 7th Pasuram, 6th Pasuram. Finally, the 7th Pasuram, the Palashruti also. தீங்கேதுமில்லா தேசிகன் தன் சிந்தைக்கு பாங்காக நேரே பரிவுடையோர் ஓங்கார தேரின் மேல் ஏறி செழுங்கதிரின் ஊடு போய் சேருவரே அந்தாமந்தான். Here in this Pasuram, he was asked, you told in many ways that those who lack love towards their Acharya will fall down very low and have no scope for liberation. Now tell us, if there is liberation for those who have great love towards their Acharya. So previously negative was given, that if you don't have love, then you will not get the result. Now the question is asked, if you show love towards your Acharyan, if one shows love towards Acharyan, if Bhagavan will protect, if Bhagavan will mercifully uplift us, is it possible? Is that liberation possible? For that, viLAnjOlaip is concluding that based on Prameyasaram 9th Pasuram, That is, தாழ்நையை வைத்த அவரை நீதியால் வந்திப்பார்க்கு உண்டு இழியாவான். That is, for those who have great love towards Acharya, for them the Paramapadam is confirmed, says in pAsuram by Arulad Perumal Emberimanar. So based on that, here Acharya's divine field, that is glorified, and those who worship such Acharya will be certainly entering Sri Vaikuntham at the end of this birth itself, says as the Falashruti. Thingedumilla Tesigan. Now let us see the word by word meanings. Thingedumilla, not having any of the evil qualities, such as not having love towards Acharya and so on. Deshigantan, once Acharya, Sindaiki, for the divine heart, Pangaga, to be favorable, Nere, directly, Parivudayor, those who have love, Ongaram, the Pranavam, Terin male, that is climbing on the chariot, Shedum Kadirudu, going through the Surya Mandalam, which has lots of rays, going through the Surya Mandalam, Poi, traveling in the Archinadi Gati, that is, when Atma becomes Mukta, he travels through Archinadi Gati, Archinadi Margam, and then he reaches Paramapadam. So, going on that Archinadi Gati, Andamam, beautiful Sri Vaikuntham, reaching the Sri Vaikuntham, Seruvar, will reach there and get to perform eternal Kainkariya, eternal service, says lOkAchArya in this pAsuram. Let us see the commentary. Thingedumilla Tesigandan Sindaike. In many pAsurams, it is said that Acharya's mercy will not escape. Acharya's mercy will always reach the target. So, Thingedumilla Tesigandan Sindaike. For the Acharya who has no defects, for such person, as said in Tappil Guru Arudai, in that pAsuram it is said that let us see the pAsuram. Tappil Guru Arudai, Guru Arulal, Thamarayal Nayagantan, Oppil Adigal, Namakku Ullathu, Vaipendru Theri Irpargal, Tesupoli, Vaikunthatti Eri Irpar, Panigatke Eyndu. It is said that those who are very confident and those who remain in servitude towards the Acharya and Bhagavan and so on, for them, it is natural for them to reach Sri Vaikuntham. So says in this pAsuram, that is Jnanasaram, 26th pAsuram. And then in many other pAsurams, it is said, Talvadumil Kuravar, those who have no defects, because the Acharya has to be free from all the defects. In Upadesha Ratnamala, it is shown, Talvadumil Kuravar, that means those Purvacharyas who have no defects. For such Acharya's divine heart, for the Acharya who has no defect, for his heart, Thingedum Illamai. Thingedum Illa means, that is, not having faults. That means lacking love towards one's Acharya and so on, all the points we have seen already. So, for not having such evil qualities, Thingedum Illamal, Desigandan, then Acharya's importance is shown here. The importance of Acharya, who is the one who liberates the disciple himself. Sindaikku Pangaga, Nere Parivudayor, to be favorable towards the divine heart of one's Acharya, who is a great benefactor. As said in Tadhyat Bhaktita Adharat, with love and devotion and with love and affection towards such person, it is said. And also another pramanam is there, Acharyasya Sthira Pratyupakaranidiya Adiya Devavatu Syadupasya, with the firm intellect to return the favor of the Acharyan, So all of these are explained in the form of direct kinchit karam, that is small services to the Acharya. So that is Sindaiku Pangaga Nere Parivudayor. That is one who has very caring attitude towards such acharyas. That is in Upadesharathamala also it is shown in 65th Pasuram. 65th Pasuram, Tesaram Sichanavan, Sir Vadive Asayudan Nokum Avan. So even though Acharya is focused on the Shishya's Atma, Shishya has to focus on Atma's Acharya's Deham. So Tesaram Sichanavan, Sir Vadive Asayudan Nokum Avan. That is the disciple will always be eagerly looking to serve the Acharya, help the Acharya, and so on. Pangaga. Pangaga means the true nature of Shishya is to do what is dear to this Acharya. Otherwise, if we do any activity which causes anger in Acharya, then such activities has to be given up. Nere. So Nere means directly one has to serve the Acharya. It is one thing to serve in different ways, but direct service to Acharya is very much emphasized. That is why Nere is said. And for example for that is given. Just as one cannot employ somebody to do one's Sandhyavandanam. If I have to do Sandhyavandanam, I have to do it myself only. I cannot employ anyone. Similarly, when it comes to Kainkaryam, we have to do, the Shishyas have to do it oneself. It has to be done by the Shishyas directly. For that is also another example is also giving. It is similar to someone to wipe off the sweat of his queen. The king is there, a queen is there. She sweats. At the time, the king will not ask somebody to come and make her relax and eliminate the sweat. Instead, he would himself wipe it off. So, this direct Kainkaryam to Acharya is very much emphasized always. Parivudayor, those who have great love towards Acharya. And this stage is very difficult to attain. That is being devoted, being caring towards Bhagavan. That is very difficult to attain. So, Nidhi Udayor. Here, Parivudayor is like one who has great affection. But that is similar to Nidhi Udaya, one who has great wealth. So, that is shown here. So, similar to how one is being rich is difficult to happen, similarly, attaining such great personalities. Tatrapi Durlabam Manye Vaikunta Priyadarshanam, that is getting the devotion towards Bhagavan, that is very, very difficult, says Parivudas. Having so those who have such parivu towards Bhagavan, when asked what is the result attained by such a person who is loving towards the Acharyan, for that, in the final section, viLAnjOlaip is saying, Omgara Terin Meleri, one has to go through the Archiradi Gati and then reach Paramapadam. So that is said to be the Palashruti. Those Shishyas who have boundless love towards the Acharya, while remaining in this world, they will face such aspects, that is, live in a distinguished manner. While remaining in this world, they will live in this manner, live in a distinguished manner, and then live matching the true nature of the self. One should not be ignoring one's true nature, that is Sheshatvam, Paratantriyam. So Kainkaryams should be matching that Swarupam of the individual. Manage Paramapadam by a small chit from him. From here itself, I can write a chit to anyone. Please grant him moksham, like that. So that is That is explained in this manner. Many different aspects, which are all good, they are all shown here. And such acharyans, those who have love towards such acharyans, they will climb this chariot of Archiradi Gati, that is the chariot of sun's rays, and then go into the Paramapadam through the Archiradi Gati. So that is all explained here. And then finally, Seruvare Antamantan. Finally, they will go and reach Paramapadam. After the um, Kainkaryans in this world, they will reach Paramapadam also, and they will continuously serve there. Says viLAnjOlaip. Those who recite these pasarams, they will certainly get the greatest benefit of eternal Nitya Kainkaryam, eternal service to Bhagavan. Finally, in the concluding section, pALLai, the commentator, has shown what are all the essential aspects from this prabandham. This prabandham itself, in a sense, from that, what are the essential points for us to carry forward? That is, the one who imparts knowledge about Artha Panchakam, such person is the Acharya. Acharya means, we should not be confused, the one who gives Artha Panchaka Jnanam. Those who lack love towards such Acharyan are self-destructive. This is the second point we understand. Those who lack love towards Acharyan, such Acharyan. Here, Acharyan means one who is good in Jnana Anushthanam. So that is what is Acharya. And if one lacks love towards Acharya, such Acharya, who is well knowledgeable, he imparts knowledge, then that is self-destructive for the person. And then third pasuram, though they have special knowledge, they will become eternally bound. So that is the next aspect. Though those who are associated with Bhagavan and they have special knowledge, they will still become eternally bound only, because they are not eliminating the defect, that is lack of love towards Acharya. So when that is there, not there, when love towards Acharya is not there, then they will eternally be in the samsara only. And also fourth pasuram, it was said that these people who lack gratitude towards the Acharya, who imparted such knowledge to the Sishyas, those people, if they lack gratitude, then they are most cruel. So that is explained in the fourth pasuram. Fifth pasuram, an Acharya should not seek for greatness for the self. He should always seek for greatness for his Acharya and well-being of the Shishyas. So seeking for greatness for self, that is a fault for the Acharya itself. And then sixth pasuram, Periyaperumal himself should mercifully eliminate all the underlying cause for the defects in self. So Periyaperumal should only mercifully eliminate all the defects and the cruel aspects. So that was explained in the sixth pasuram. And finally in the seventh pasuram, one who has such love towards the Acharya will travel through the Archiradi Gati, Archiradi Margam, and then reach Paramapadam, says viLAnjOlaip. And finally acquire the wealth of liberation. Those who entered Paramapadam will acquire the wealth of liberation, that is eternal Kainkaryam. Liberation in our Sampradaya means Kainkaryam, Nitya Kainkaryam only, and being crowned in that Kainkarya Samrajyam. So these are the 7 important aspects. So one who imparts knowledge is Acharya. Artha Panchaka knowledge is Acharya. Those who lack love towards such Acharya are self-destructive. And then, though they have special knowledge, they will still become eternally bound, because they are disrespecting and other aspects. And then fourth aspect is those people who lack gratitude towards the imparting of such knowledge, they are very cruel. Fifth point is one should not seek greatness for self. Acharya should remain humble and should not seek for greatness for the self. And then Periya Perumal himself should mercifully eliminate the underlying cause for such defect. If there is any defect in the self, that should be corrected by Periya Perumal. And finally, one has such love towards Acharya, will travel through the Archiradi Gati and reach Paramadam and acquire the wealth of liberation. And being crowned in the Kaikarya Samrajyam, says viLAnjOlaip in this final pasuram, seventh pasuram. With this, we are coming to an end. Wonderful series. We had the great fortune of completing it on lOkAchArya's Tirunakshatram, Alvar Thirudigale Sharanam, Emberumanar Thirudigale Sharanam, GR Thirudigale Sharanam, GR Thirudigale Sharanam, viLAnjOlaip Thirudigale Sharanam, piLLai GR Thirudigale Sharanam. piLLai GR's commentary was used for the English rendering here. So we are thankful to piLLai GR as well. பல்லாண்டு பல்லாண்டு பல்லாயிரத்தாண்டு பல கோடி நூறாயிரம் வல்லாண்டு தின்றோள் முனிவண்ணா உன் சேவடி செவிதில் காப்படியோம் ஓடும் நோடும் பிரிவின் 1000 பல்லாண்டு வடிவாயின் வளமார்பினில் வாழ்கின்ற மங்கையும் பல்லாண்டு வடிவார் சோதி வளத்துறையும் சுடர் ஆடியும் பல்லாண்டு படைப்போர் குக்குமழங்கும் அப்பாஞ்ச சன்னியம் பல்லாண்டே. We'll see in the next session.